Do artists really have to starve to be true to their craft? Must the business side of creativity drain all inspiration? No, it does not. 5 minutes on creative entrepreneurship can help you master the business side of creativity, reap greater rewards from your talent, and enjoy your work to the fullest.
I'm so glad trouble don't last always.
Over the past several weeks, we've been imagining what it would be like to present our creative practice on Shark Tank. While this fantasy will never be a reality, since investors don't buy into professional services companies, thinking like an investor can help expose weaknesses in our business models. Venture capital may not be available to creatives, but we should not undervalue the costly investments we make in our own businesses. We pour blood, sweat, and tears into our work, not to mention significant opportunity costs. This week, we wrap up our Shark Tank series by considering a flaw that the sharks often point out to founders as they seek an investment: the serious challenge of customer education that can present barriers to effectively marketing their products. I'm Eric Holter, and I've been a serial creative entrepreneur for over 3 decades. After graduating from Rhode Island School of Design in 1991, I could cut and print beautiful wood engravings. But I had no idea how to run a business. They just don't teach enough about business in art school. Many times on Shark Tank, after a founder presents a particularly ingenious product, one that the investors all acknowledge to be a great idea that solves a real problem, the founder gets shocked when all the investors go out one right after the other. This often happens when the investors realize that while the product is great, in order for them to see how great it is, they needed the demonstration. In other words, if they had merely seen the product on a store shelf without a demo, they would have walked right by. And because the product required presentation, they walk right past the opportunity to invest, leaving the founder shocked and dismayed. When selling requires a presentation, the product suffers from a customer education challenge. The more you have to explain how something works, the more difficult it is to sell. Creative entrepreneurs all face serious client education problems. While most businesses understand the need for a logo and a website, they don't typically understand the difference between branding driven by thoughtful creative and marketing strategy and a nice-looking identity that they can get cheap off of Fiverr. And so we need to educate our clients and prospects about the differences between the expensive services we offer and one-off creative products that they can snag on Upwork. But this is not a simple concept to explain. Some clients might be savvy enough to at least see the difference in quality between our professional and strategic work and the slapdash work churned out by crowdsourced platforms. But many don't really see much difference at all. So how do you make the case for professional-grade creative services and against low-cost alternatives? Here's a hint. A blog post or two spotlighting popular branding campaigns for Apple or Nike are not going to cut it. The reality is, you can't overcome the client education problem directly. There's too much invisible, individualized, behind-the-scenes expertise in our work to effectively convey to a general prospect. And so, you need to demonstrate something else to overcome this customer education problem. And that's where pinpoint positioning comes in. You may not be able to set your work alongside a competitor's and clearly show a difference in quality and value. But if you have deep experience applying creative strategy and creative application to a very specific problem in a focused industry, that insight and experience is much easier to demonstrate. Pinpoint positioning allows you to show your value without having to give customized presentations or engage in long conversations where you play defense overcoming a prospect's hesitations or objections. Instead, you can give a well-crafted elevator pitch that your prospect gets right away. As creative entrepreneurs, we face many challenges in business. And while a shark will never invest, we can learn from their insights, adapt our business practices, and ensure that the investments we make in our own companies will result in a strong and profitable business that enables us to employ our talents and enjoy our work to the fullest. Until next week, don't let the business of creativity overwhelm your creative business.
5 Minutes on Creative Entrepreneurship is a podcast by Eric Holter, mentor to creative entrepreneurs. You can find more content and resources at erichholter.com. His book, Blazing the Freelance Trail, is available on Amazon in print, Kindle, and audio. If this podcast is helpful to you, be sure to share it with your colleagues, and ratings and reviews are always appreciated.
I'm so glad trouble don't last